Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to the vlog, and welcome to episode 6 of the C6 wide body project. Now if you've watched episodes 1 through 5, so far we have episode 1 picked it up, episode 2 we removed the rear quarter panels, episode 3 we installed the rear quarter panels, episode 4 we took off the front bumper, and the last episode, episode 5, we took off the front fenders. Now, episode 6, welcome. We're gonna be installing the wide body fenders. Now I already have them sitting on the car right behind you guys, and I'm gonna let you see what it looks like. We're gonna pull them back off because I wanted to test fit them obviously to see if they was gonna line up, and they do. They fit amazing as the rear ones did. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you guys. Now don't get too excited. The C6 ACI wide body fenders. Bam! Now these things, like I said, are just setting up here. I don't have anything drilled, nothing like that. They are just literally setting on here, but they look incredible. Same thing with the other side, except I had to kind of attach it with a little piece of masking tape, no big deal, but it looks incredible. I know you're thinking, what in God's name is wrong with those headlight lenses? Well, we're gonna be fixing those here real soon. All right, guys, so I'm gonna go ahead, pull these fenders back off. We're going to get our drill bits, drill out the holes, test fit them again, and see if we can't get them actually bolted up today. All right, guys, I've got you up on my head mount right now because I'm just gonna give you a point of view of this. But this is 3/16 drill bit, but at the same time, these holes have to be a little bit wider. So once I drill it, I'm gonna drill another one beside it. That way we have a little bit of adjustment. Like I said on the previous video, all of the indentions are pretty much marked for what we need to do. So all we really have to do is start drilling these things out. So like I said, we have to oval these things out to give us adjustment sideways. So this is gonna be a little bit different than what we did in the last video. So we have all the kinds of these to drill out, but I'm gonna wait until I get my install kit before we drill out all of these holes. So we do have to drill out the ones on the bottom here. Now I'm 100% sure that I'm gonna have to make these holes bigger, but I'm gonna drill these little holes first and then go with the big ones. Now these aren't going to be perfect because these are the pilot holes. This is what we're starting with, so we will adjust these as we need it. I'm going to switch to the bigger bit, which was the 5/16, because we have a bracket that comes through the underside of here that we need to make room for. And that looks a little bit too big. So I'm going to start a little smaller first. So we're going to go down to the 1/4 inch bit. And then we have this inside bolt here that goes on the inside of the fender, which it has to be pretty big. So I'm gonna actually take this other bit and enlarge that out, because I know that just has to be big as it is. So I think this is all the bolts that we need to drill out for right now. I'm sure I'm gonna have to adjust these before we get them put on, but that is the 3 that was on the bottom, the 1 that was on the inside, the 1 that bolts to the bumper, the 1 behind the headlight, and then your T15 Torx bits that go along the top. So that should be all the holes to drill on this one. So let's throw it on the car and see how close it is. So for our initial test fit, it looks like this is going to line up pretty good. I do see a couple of the little holes that I'm going to have to mess with. It should work out pretty well. All right, guys, so with the first pass, we did pretty good. Still going to have to do some adjustment, obviously, but we did get all of the bolts in the top, including the one beside the headlight. We're gonna have to do some adjustment so this sets a little more flush. I think that even my OEM one kind of set back a little bit, so we may be able to adjust the headlight a little bit. I would like it to set just a little bit more flush, so I believe that we can do some adjustment on this side to get that to pull down, but I'm going to try to get the one back here in, and then the 3 on the underside, and then we will see this fender completely bolted up. Okay, so this one is as bolted up as I'm going to be able to get it, given the fact that I don't have my inner fender for this side yet. I'm still waiting on the install kit. This is my only thing that I want to get fixed, is this little gap right here, but I'm sure that I can probably take this hole over a little bit and it may flatten that out, or it may flatten out whenever it's actually bolted down to the bumper. As far as the hood line on first mount here, it's not horrible. It's not the best. The fender needs to go in just a little bit to line that up, but on the door edge, it's pretty good. I think it could come back just a hair. So I think that I will make these holes just a little bit bigger to where I can slide it back and in just a little bit, but I will do that on final fitment, which will be its own kind of episode of this thing. But the door should open just fine without hitting it. So I'm not sure exactly what the factory gap is, but I believe that this may need to go, like I said, in, back, and it should line up pretty good because the gaps aren't that far off already. I don't have the bottoms, like I said, really bolted in. I have the 7 mil back here bolted in, but because this inner fender is just destroyed, I wasn't able to bolt this part in, but we do have all the bolts in the top did go in where they were supposed to. That is why we have them a little bit bigger, and it let it seat in there very nicely. On this one, I think I drilled out the wrong hole because there was actually nothing there. So I'm going to fiberglass back over that hole, and I will drill this one out because I believe this is the front fender bolt, and that's the one I actually needed. You live and you learn. This is what we're doing during this project. But that is the passenger side completely done. I'm going to hyperlapse you guys as I drill out the driver's side, and then I will install the driver's side, and we will see what this thing looks like with the front fenders actually mounted up. All right, guys, so for whatever reason, and I apologize for this, it's happened a couple times before, and it kind of gets on my nerves, but the GoPro shut off for whatever reason. So a lot of the install of the driver's side fender didn't get recorded. So I'm going to take you over what all I had to do and what all is left to do. The fender is bolted up. We do have all of the bolts in. For some reason, I'm missing 2 of them, so I'm going to have to go to GM and order. I'm probably just going to order a bunch of these just because with this project, we're going to be taking these on and off, and they're bound to get lost. I had to open up this hole just a little bit more, and it actually let this side sink in just a little bit better. So I believe that's something I can do on this side, because like I said, I don't like how far that sticks up. As far as our hood gap goes, the whole fender, like I said, is probably going to have to go in just a little bit because it's okay back here, but back here it's not. So it's going to go in and back a little bit just to get these body lines just a little bit tighter. Like I said, I don't have the install kit yet. I'm still waiting on it from Just Fast Online. So whenever it gets here, we can go ahead and test fit all that as well. I'm just test fitting what I can and getting everything installed as fast as I can. This side, the body gap isn't as bad. It's not as bad as the other side, but it's a little closer up here. But I believe we're gonna have to run a little closer body lines anyway, just to get this gap a little bit better. But as long as all the body lines end up straight, that's all I was worried about. As far as this side, the body lines are pretty good. door opens okay, even though it's a little bit close right here. So I believe there's gonna be a bunch of adjusting like we expected there to be, but I don't have this bracket installed yet. I'm gonna do it on the next episode when we install the bumper. This kit is going to take some adjustment. The front fenders did not fit as well as the quarter panels, but they're still a very well-made piece, and it is not something that we can't get to work. It's not like a Duraflex bumper or something like I've used before that it just can't be fixed. This ACI kit, very good quality kit. Like I said, you can get it at justfastonline.com. They have the best price on this. I've looked around for it a couple times, and I think it's like $2,500 shipped with the install kit from them. Still waiting on the install kit from them, so that hopefully we'll be getting here soon. The guy that runs it said he was going to send me a tracking number on the install kit, so hopefully I get it soon. But that's going to be it for this episode of the C6 Widebody project. Next time we are going to get the front bumper on, then we're going to strip off the headlights and redo the lenses and get the housings painted, because we are going to paint the housings black. After we get those done, I'm going to reinstall them, install everything on the car, do a final kind of alignment, test fit, drill everything else I need. That way, once we paint the car, we don't have to start drilling and all that on fresh paint. I would rather get it all done beforehand, take my time, get everything how we want it. So smash the thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel, still approaching 3K. Maybe by the time this video comes out, we might be at 3K. If we are, that's awesome. If we already are, let's go for 4K. I'll see you guys on the next video.